Greetings and salutations, Charlton66 here, once again with another video. I haven't made one. I usually try to do one every Sunday. I missed last Sunday. I went to a comic book show in Frederick. It was a good show. It was pretty good, pretty good turnout. A lot of new dealers. Of course, everything was Black Panther heavy. Which, par for the course. And, different times something popular comes up, as the dealers try and push all the Black Panther stuff. But there's always a few dealers that I can go to that I know have older stuff or more obscure oddball stuff that I like to buy. But I didn't make a video last Sunday. I just ran out of time for the day and didn't get a chance to sit down and make one, of course. And then the work week came up, and obviously during that time it's hard to make a video when you get home so late sometimes. But this video is going to be a few things I picked up at the show. A lot of the stuff is some older westerns, and of course some Charlton. But one of the series I picked up that I was happy to find was the New God series that Cullins did in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. Mark Evanier, Cullins, I think Paul Kupperberg was involved with it. But I have a page of artwork from that series that I've always had in my collection and I always loved because of the imagery on the page. And of course I'll show that along with the artwork. One of the first things I'll talk about, I got this Straight Arrow number 39, which I said before, these are kind of hard to come by any decent shape for some reason. I don't understand why, but I'm a fan of the radio show and of course the comic book. I was able to find number 39. It's only like $12 or something like that. It was so inexpensive. I snagged it up in a heartbeat. This issue, Straight Arrow. Of course, Durango Kid with the Frazetta story. I think the White Eagle story in here is Frazetta. Yeah, Dan Brand story. Also Frazetta goodness there. But the Durango Kid story is nothing to sneeze at either. It's still a good comic book to have in your collection. This is number 6, the Durango Kid. And Red Mask, number 45. And Red Mask 46, and these Red Masks have this 3D effect storyline that they did, where they drew the characters. I love to have a piece of artwork from the series where they drew the characters coming outside of the panel border, so it looks like it's a 3D effect. Like right here, a good example of it, trying to a 3D effect type of thing where they're coming out the borders of the panel and this stuff here, which I think it served its purpose. It was kind of cool. It was something different at the time. Like Red Mask drawing directions right here. It's coming outside of the border, drawing some type of symbol here. Yeah, he's drawing a map here. But it's kind of cool. It served, like I said, it served its purpose. Here's a little fight here at the bottom, and But what's also cool in this issue, of course, there's a Ghost Rider story in here by Dick Ayers, which is really cool. Nice Ghost Rider story by Dick Ayers in this. But what's really cool in this is this ad where you can order a Ghost Rider mask. I think it's kind of cool. You can be the Ghost Rider. Kind of cool. Little cool ad there. And one of these have a date stamp on it, actually a time stamp. Yeah, the Straight Arrow here, number 39 issue Straight Arrow has a time stamp on it, which is kind of cool. Time and date stamp. Doesn't have the year. This is from '54, but August of '54, and AM. So nice Charlton's here. Ghost Matter number 30 with an awesome Pat Boyette. The Genie cover. Another Ghostly Tales 130 with I don't know who did this cover. I want to say Ditko, but it's not. There's no way, but Ghostly Tales. Love the tentacles coming out of the faucet. Yeah, this is an awesome Ditko cover. The devil actually stabbed the dude in the chest with his pitchfork. This is 134. And Marvel back in the 90s did a lot of reprints of the horror line from the 50s and early 60s, but with new covers on them, which I think is really cool. Monster Menace number 4. I love that cover. Monster Menace number 3. Sorry, these are out of order. Again, the Zootak with the new Ditko cover, which I think is just pretty smashing. And I found another, I had this back in the day, I bought off the rack, but I don't know whatever happened to it, but it was just a fun issue to have, a little time capsule of that time frame, the Fumetti book. It's just a time capsule of that time period, you know, where we, thought and knew how fun comics were, and just kind of solidified it a little bit. I never knew what happened to my copy. I was happy to find that. I picked that up. And Renegade Press did a whole bunch of Ditko stories, original Ditko stuff. That really speaks of his philosophy, of the objectivism, and these comic books were not lacking in that. Pretty heavy reading, really, if you really read into what Ditko was trying to convey. And what he did convey at certain points of the stories and everything in here. This is here's number 2. Real wordy. His philosophy, his philosophical mindset of his Ayn Rand readings and whatnot. Number 2. And again, here's number 3. I just love these books, though. Ditko still produces his stuff to this day, so it says a lot about him and how his convictions of what he thinks and his worldview, really. I hear the New Gods. Again, this is nothing to write home about, but it's a pretty good series. Um, Paris Cullins is one of my favorite artists, and he really added a lot, I think, to this New God series. And I have one page from one of these stories that I really like in my collection. But he added a lot, like I said. Um, this Starlin wrote this. Cullins did the artwork. I'm gonna go pretty quick with these. This is, it's a good series. I found these on the cheap. These were like 50 cents a piece. I was happy to have them in my collection because I never did collect them at the time. Um, this is Starlin and Cullins on this one. It's a pretty cool cover. There's a dynamic artwork to Paris Cullins' work. It's this dynamic style to it that again, it's not everyone's taste, but I really enjoy it. First time I saw his stuff was on the Blue Devil, and he just adds a detail. Like look at this cover here. This is one of my favorite covers. New Gods #7. It looks like Darkseid's got a mustache. But in this one is where I have a page of work from this one because one of the panels. And there's just a lot that's put into every page. I mean, it's really good. It's really good stuff. He's heading up the double-page splash pages that Kirby would have in his books. So one of the pages right here. This page is right here I'm speaking of. And here's the original page right here that I have in my collection. And look at, the detail that he put on this page. Of course, Darkseid's one of my favorite villains in the DC universe, and I just love how it says, "You're Lord and God." Of course, that's Darkseid's mentality. And just, you got a lot going on this page. I really like it a lot. And the detail alone, like the stuff in the foreground, forced perspective, all that kind of stuff. Got some little zipatone action going on here. Where that's kind of cool to put into it. In the back of it, I think it's kind of funny. Someone wrote on here, "There are no gold statues on Apocalypse." But you got some Orion sketches on the back, arms and anatomy of Orion, side perspective of his head. But I like what it says, that there are no gold statues on Apocalypse. So, which I think is a really cool page. Again, not all pages really have to be splash pages or double page splash pages or anything with a major character in it. The art, to me, drives the page. What goes on, the artwork that's in the page, what kind of detail and work they put into that page. And again, with original artwork, everyone collects their own taste, and again, to each their own. But one of the things about artwork, it's one of one. Once you have that original page, you have the only copy that exists. Well, the original, not a copy, but you have the original page. The only thing that exists is what you have in your collection. That says a lot. Again, everyone, to each their own. I'm not knocking anyone on variant covers and everything like that, but people pay hundreds of dollars to have a variant cover where you can have a page of original artwork from your favorite artist for the same price, and there's no other one out there. You have that page. So one thing about original art that people need to think about, it doesn't have to be, like I said, that bold splash page or a lot of action going on or a major character on that page. It could just be just the work and detail that's put in that page. And again, the reason we read comic books is for the artwork. It's the the pen to paper, the ink, the pencils, what the artwork the artist does on that page. Just like on Paris Cullins' page, there's a lot of work that's conveyed in just telling that story on how bad things are on Apocalypse. You know, the workers, the people getting slop to eat. All this kind of stuff is conveyed in these pages, and there's nothing major on here. I mean, there's Darkseid, but as a statue of Darkseid, it's not really him. But everything on the page, the lettering, again, the use of zipatone, the perspective of them, that's him, and the perspective of how big the statue is, and the stuff in the foreground, the forced perspective, all that kind of stuff plays into an artwork page. And like I said, people collect what what they like and everything else and then I understand that. But if you think about getting an artwork page for the price you can pay for a comic book or a variant cover, and you can have a page of artwork from that, it's something to think about, something to consider having. Getting, but it's an addictive thing. Once you get original art, it's you're looking for those pages. But like I said, the pages that doesn't have the action on it, the splash pages, the key pages, you can have for a much cheaper price, and it's still original page from that comic book. But that was from New Gods number 7. That page. New Gods number 8, which is a really cool cover. Again, Paris Cullins, and this is an awesome one. Orion in action. Number 10. Now this is when Evan Ye started writing around issue number 8, I think. No, 7. 6. He started right early into the series. I think issue 6. No, number 5. Evan Ye started scripting it and writing the stories, but Cullins was still doing the artwork with Bleiberg. Number 11. Number 12, which is a great cover. The only thing that's really weird is that placement of that planet right on his head. I think it should have been up lower a little bit. It looks like it's coming off his head, but other than that, it's a great looking cover. It's a great cover. I just don't like the portrayal of Light Ray. I think his hair is too long, but $13. Number 14. Yeah, Evan Ye is still writing it, and Cullins is still drawing it. I think Cullins drew it to the end. It's a nice cover by Willie Bleiberg, Paris Cullins and Willie Bleiberg. No, and I also had, back to this page again, it keeps falling onto the floor. I had Paris sign it last Baltimore in 2016. I had him sign the back. I want him to sign the front as well, but I want him to sign the back because of the artwork. But he never did sign the front. But because I like the stuff that was on the back. Most of his artwork, if you ever buy anything from Paris Cullins, there's always little small treats on the back. You turn it over, there's always something he's drawn out, laid out on the back of the page, which is always cool. This is a cool cover with his Omega beams hitting the logo of the New Gods logo. New Gods number 18. And last but not least, number 19. This is a great cover too. Alright, well, the video's already into 21 minutes right now, so I'll end it here. Again, thanks everybody for viewing and subscribing. And again, the past comments, a lot of good videos have been out there. I've been enjoying a lot of videos. Been watching a few that I've subscribed to, new channels. I don't have them off the top of my head. I think next video I'm going to do is make a list of a lot of new videos, a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new people I've subscribed to. Make a list of them and talk about them so other people can enjoy their videos and the content on the videos that I've found out. So, but again, this is Saturday, so everyone enjoy their weekend, and I'll talk to you guys later.